Okay, good morning, Flosstube. This is Sarah coming with you again for the second time. I've been trying to film. I was doing it for like about 30 minutes when I realized that the camera wasn't on. That it was just, the camera was on, but it wasn't on video. So I decided to start again. I might do it a little bit short because of the fact that, well, I've been sitting here for a bit. But today, I just wanted to introduce myself. I will be uploading other videos showing on the different projects I've been working on. I've been doing cross stitch since the age of 11. I worked on it when I was a kid, stopped working on it for a while, and then as an adult I started again about 10 years ago when I was pregnant with my daughter, who is now 9. I currently have I've been working on it nonstop since then. I currently had another baby, which has kind of stopped me from being able to work as much on my cross stitch. She came out with special needs. She has Down syndrome, and it's been a pretty interesting journey. Different. She has been having some medical issues. I mean, she doesn't have any of the, most underlying conditions that they usually have, like heart problems, but she did come out with some issues with breathing. She's 10 months right now. She's been in and out of the hospital. She was in the NICU for 2 months, which was really difficult because of COVID. And we just got out of the hospital about 2 days ago. She got pneumonia. We really, I usually just stay home and take care of her. The whole family is kind of like, we don't do much just to, avoid her from getting sick. But we don't understand how she got that because nobody has been sick around in the house. And it just happened. But in her case, she has a lot of issues with secretions. Doctors just don't know why she produces so much secretions. And we believe that actually the doctors say that she has aspiration pneumonia. So basically she aspirated on her own secretions. It has been really difficult, and my cross stitch, I haven't been really working on it because of it. She requires a lot of attention. Right now I have some time because she's asleep. She's been asleep since 12 midnight, which has been another challenging part of my life. She does not want to go to sleep early. If I put her to bed at 8, it's kind of just like a nap, and then I have a hard time getting her back to sleep. So yeah. And I decided to wake up early this morning and just work a little bit on my cross stitch. I previously had uploaded a video, a Stitch With Me video, a few months back. It was just kind of just put it out there, and that was it. I really didn't, do much. I've been wanting to do a video for a really long time, but because of, this and that, I really haven't done it. But right now, I just decided, what the heck, just go for it. So that's basically what I did. And the funny thing is that I've been doing this for over an hour. And when I click when I pressed the button to just stop the video, I realized that it wasn't even on. So here we are again. Take two, I guess. Well, for me, my name is Sarah. I've been doing cross stitch for a really long time. I started cross stitch 10 years ago when I was pregnant with my daughter, and I was having a really hard time with my pregnancy. During that time, I lived in Tulsa, Oklahoma, which, by the way, it's right next to the Silver Needle. Wonderful shop. I love it. But, well, when I started again back 10 years ago, I went to Michael's. No, it wasn't Michael's. It was Hobby Lobby, because Michael's doesn't really carry them. But I went to Hobby Lobby looking for something cross stitch, and I came about it was the MCG Textiles. I believe it was the Little Mermaid that got my attention. And well, I mean, the last time I worked on a cross stitch was when I was 11 years old, and no, I was probably like 12 or 13. I started at 11, but it was kind of like a baby sampler, and it was already a printed fabric. And this one had nothing, no grids, no X's, nothing. It was just a plain piece of Aida fabric. So I decided to go online and look at the different videos that were out there on how to start it. And well, I came across Jessie Marie Does Stuff. Also, I remember that there was what was her name? I hardly watch her anymore. I think it was Stitching May. Well, all of those were one of the few that I had started watching back in the day, and I really enjoyed it. And I remember I used to watch Jessie Marie Does Stuff quite a bit because she had so many cute projects, things that I had never seen before that really caught my attention. And there was one that she was working on. I think it was Winter White Santa from Mirabilia, which I completely fell in love with. I bought the chart, didn't start it. I was a little bit afraid of starting it because of how much detail it had. Back then, I didn't even know anything about, the different kinds of linens, even weave, hand-dyed fabrics, none of that. I started going on eBay, and I found a seller who would kit up the projects. And I remember that I purchased my first chart from eBay, which was Crystal Symphony. I believe I paid like $60 for it, but it came with all the beads. It came with all of the DMC, and it also came with a piece of Aida fabric that was, I guess it was hand dyed by her, but I started it. I still have not finished it. I'm kind of like a serial starter. I just start them. Actually, not a starter, because I usually complete about 75 to 80% of the project before I put it away, and then I forget about it. So currently I have over 100 projects that I'm working on, which technically I'm not working on it because, well, hold on, let me fix this. I'm not really working on it because, well, I see one that I like and I start it. So this time, sorry. My husband was playing with my okay, I'm just gonna leave it like that. I don't want to mess with it anymore. Well, where was I at? Kind of forgot. I think we're talking about the Crystal Symphony. So I started on, I've been working on cross stitch for quite a bit. I have a lot of projects, and I kind of complete them and then put them aside. And that's kind of what I've been doing for a bit. So I have tons of projects. And hold on, let me see if I got it. There we go. That one's better. I have Mirabilias. I have Heaven and Earth designs. I have very few samplers. I kind of find myself that I don't currently, because of the fact that I'm not working anymore. I don't have the money to spend as I used to. So, and also, I mean, sometimes you buy charts and you're like, oh, I like this and I want to start it, and just put it away and that's it. In my case, I usually get them and I start them and then I put them away. There's a lot of samplers, but they're kind of, they're not pricey, but right now with my whole situation, my living situation, well, not living because it's, my daughter, that requires so much attention. I can't spend too much time working on these projects. Usually I get up early and work a little bit on it, or in the evening when she takes a nap, I'll work on it, or when she's playing with her toys, I'll work on it. My husband, he's pretty good at helping out, but usually when he's helping me, I'm either, working with my other kids, because I do have 5 other children. 2 of them are not mine, but they are like my own. I love them so much. Great kids. But I have so much work to do. Picking up kids from school, dinner. My husband is my partner and he helps with me with everything. But it's still a lot of work. And then the thing is that my daughter also does not eat yet. We have to tube feed her. So all of that is a lot of work. I cannot just, have family take care of her because of everything that she needs. So it's quite challenging. And we just work on it one day at a time. Right now she's still asleep. It's about it's already 11 in the morning. But like I said, she likes to go to sleep like at midnight. She won't go to sleep any earlier. So that makes it hard. She sleeps quite a bit. So she should be waking up any minute now. So trying to get through this video, at least try to do at least 20 minutes just to introduce myself. Like I said, I will go in here and show the different projects I've worked on. I'm currently trying to go through my whip piles and seeing what's closer to being done, so that I can just finish it off and go from there. Right now I just finished that winter white Santa that I said that I started because of Jessie. So I finally finished it. I think it was I finished it like 2 months ago. And I also am finishing up what's her name? It's a Mirabilia one. It's another princess one. I forgot what it's called. I have a lot of whips, not many finishes. I do have finishes, but not as many. But I'm gonna start getting there. This one is Princess Eliana, and I started it about, I would say about 3 weeks ago. This was kind of like a road trip start because we were headed to Tulsa, Oklahoma to go visit my family. I went to go, I have an older daughter who had a baby recently. So I'm a grandma, and I have a newborn. Well, not a newborn, but she's a baby. So I went over there to go visit, and well, I currently live in California, and if we drive over there, it takes about 20 hours to get there. So we usually take turns with my husband, and well, the kids love the road trip, so it's not really that difficult, and we enjoy it. I mean, we actually love the drive. So it took us 2 days to get there. We drove the first day for like about 10 hours, stopping on and off, putting gas, stretching our legs. But I started this one in the car, and I love the colors. So many colors. And as I was in Tulsa, I went to the Silver Needle, and since I really don't splurge on stuff like this anymore, I asked my husband if I could go in there and just purchase some charts. I mean, not like I need permission or anything, but I mean, I kind of feel guilty because right now with only him working, it's kind of difficult for me to, I find it really difficult for me to just, go in there and start asking for stuff that we don't need. And he's all like, yeah. He's all like, I actually want to go in there with you. He loves it. He enjoys seeing me happy. So he knows this is my happy place. And he went in there with me. I didn't buy a lot of stuff, but it came out pretty expensive. It came out, I spent like $180, and I bought 3 charts, 2 Halloween patterns, which, by the way, the reason why I bought them is because I saw them on display and they were just beautiful. I loved how they looked. I bought 2 Halloween patterns and I bought 1 sampler, which was gorgeous. I just love how it looked. Just the how detailed it was, and how the stitches were just perfect on that display. I'm like, I hope mine comes out like that because it looks beautiful. And which I'll show it later when I do my video and you can actually see my face. I'll talk about that and show everything I got. But of course I bought the charts, I bought the fabric, I bought the buttons that go with the project. So that's the reason why it came out to so much. The buttons, I mean, just one button's like $3-4. And there were quite a few, and both Halloween patterns had buttons on them. I think one of the set of buttons, I think it was like 5 buttons, it was like $30. And my husband's all like, go ahead. Actually, he's the one that bought the buttons. I wasn't even gonna buy them then. I was just gonna order them later on. But he's all like, no, just get them right now. So I purchased them. By the way, I used to live there for 10 years. And I would go to the Silver Needle. It's like, it was a mile away from my house. So I would go in every few months to get stuff because, well, going in there and seeing all of the displays, it just makes you want to purchase everything. So I would just go in here and there, trying to support our local needle workshop. I mean, some stuff is a little bit expensive, but I know how hard it is to, stay open, especially right now with the pandemic. But yeah, I purchased a little bit. Maybe when I go back in November, I'll pass by and grab something else, maybe my little Christmas present to myself. Actually, not to myself, because my husband is the one that usually buys me stuff like this for like my birthday or Christmas, or I mean, this is really all I spend on, so he's okay with it. I mean, he doesn't really tell me anything. I just try not to spend too much. But yeah, we were there for like a week, and came back home, and we ended up in the hospital. My daughter, like I said, got aspiration pneumonia. I don't even know if I said it in this video or not, but she has a lot of secretions and requires a lot of attention. But she aspirated on her secretions. We ended up in the hospital. Her oxygen was really low. It was in the low 80s. She pulled out her G tube, so we had to get that back in there. We were there for a whole week, and I was working on a few projects. I wasn't just working on this one. I was working on this one, I believe, and the other one, what is it called? It's one of those new memorabilia patterns. Let me see what's the name. I actually have it here. What is it? Oh yeah, Ophelia. So I was working on her. I got quite a bit done. So these were the two projects that I took to the hospital with me. And just working on them while my daughter slept. It's kind of challenging being in the hospital and not being able to go anywhere. And the thing is that everybody's like, why don't you just step outside, get some fresh air, and but the fact that the hospital right now, I mean, bless their hearts, they're wonderful nurses, and we were at the Children's Hospital in Los Angeles for a whole week, and they're just great. They're great nurses, but they're understaffed right now, and every single time she got a new nurse, I would never see her sitting down, ever. She was always running from one room to the other, and they would just tell me to leave the door open if I stepped out. The only time I would step out was to go get something to eat, because, well, my husband doesn't know how to cook, so we kind of, I would buy stuff to just heat up in the microwave in the lobby. I mean, actually in the cafeteria downstairs. But sometimes I didn't have a chance to do that, so I would go and grab something to eat. And I wouldn't stay out much because the fact that the nurses were so busy, I was kind of afraid that, they would probably miss my daughter. Because my daughter, she likes to move around a lot. And I was just scared that she was going to, get tangled in her cables, because there was a lot of cables on her, for the breathing machine. For the oxygen, for her feeding tube, her heart rate monitor, her oxygen, what is it called? What reads your oxygen? I don't know. I forget sometimes. I forget what things are called. I think it's a pulsometer. So I was just afraid that, I was gonna walk back up there and find like all of these nurses here because, she got all tangled and something bad happened. I know I think about these things way too much. So, that's what happened. And I would just stay in the room and just sew. I would just stitch. Just stitch, stitch, stitch. And I mean, I don't mind it because, I mean, like I said, this is my happy place. This is what calms me down. So I would take advantage of that and relax. We are back home. We've been home for the past 2 days, and she's doing so much better. So much better. I think even better than before we went to the hospital when she wasn't sick. It was just, it's hard. It's really hard. And I miss cross stitching. I remember I used to go on for hours. I would come home from work and just sit there and stitch. I would cook something quick for dinner and then just stitch till bedtime. And, my husband would just, sit next to me and we would talk, and he would do whatever it is he does on his phone. Sometimes he would be playing games and we would just talk, and it just worked out. And now that's something that, well, for now, I mean, she's still little. For now, it's a little bit different, but we're getting through it. I feel like also the stitching helps me a lot because it helps me calm down. And I just zone out and just think about my project and try not to think about all the chaos that's going on. And that's another thing, trying to balance things out so that I have enough time to, to spend it with my other kids. Especially my 9-year-old. She's another one that requires a lot of attention. Not because she's special needs or anything like that. It's just that she's so active, and she loves to talk and socialize. She's not the type of kid that likes to just sit and watch TV. She likes to be active, and so for her, it's kind of hard to just, sit there and just do nothing. So she doesn't like watching television. Like I said, she prefers to go outside and play. And, well, that's, some of the things I need to do. She likes to go shopping. She likes to, right now she's gotten into wanting to learn how to cook. So when I'm cooking dinner, putting her to do stuff, she wants to be a part of all of it. And also, she's really great. She's very smart. She's very hands-on with her little sister. I think all my kids are. They all help out. So if I need a break, I can just, go with my husband and just relax and go maybe have like a glass of wine or, have a margarita at a restaurant and just, take a break. Still trying to get some assistance so that I can have a nurse help me out. But right now with COVID, it's so difficult. So maybe like that, I could even go back to work. But for now, my kids are the ones that help me out whenever I need a break. And I do take advantage of it. I kind of have to. And I mean, they're, for the most part, they're very understanding, and they're very, I don't know, they're just great kids. I can't complain. They're great kids. I got lucky with my kids. They are sweet. They help as much as they can. I never have complaints from any of them. They are all wonderful kids. And whenever they ask, that they don't even ask for anything. That's another thing. They're really understanding, and they don't ask for much. Tomorrow, I was actually going to do a movie night. We had bought a projector like because of the pandemic, and we started doing like movie nights outside and having a big old screen outside, having popcorn. And I think that's what we're gonna do tomorrow night, and just, you know, have a good time with them. Right now with the baby, you know, having so many breathing issues, I'm kind of afraid of even going to theaters and stuff like that. Just afraid of, you know, getting something. Even though we're vaccinated, I know that, I mean, the baby is not. Even if there was a vaccine, I wouldn't give it to her because she's so small. I'm just afraid of how she's going to react. And so we try really hard not to, you know, go out much. I was recently, actually, I just currently started doing shopping, like going grocery shopping outside of the house, because before my shopping was indoors. Go online and go into Instacart and do my orders there. I mean, it is pretty pricey, and we are a household of 7, so you could imagine how expensive it is to feed all of us. And they're not little kids. I mean, I got 2 boys that are, one is 16 and the other one is 14, and they eat quite a bit. So, and then I have a 16-year-old daughter, my 9-year-old, and then my 22-year-old. Even though she supports herself, I mean, it still gets a little expensive with groceries and all. But, I mean, that's how it is. And so I love working on, one of my favorite designers is Mirabilia, Nora Corbett. Also, I'm starting to purchase charts from Bella Filipina. I have a few. I love the samplers from Hands Across the Sea. Also, I love full coverage charts. So I love Heaven and Earth designs. There's a whole, also I have a few chatelaine. I've worked on them, but I have not finished them. After so many specialty stitches, I kind of get a little frustrated. Well, not frustrated, but I get bored. So I currently bought one that it's not as intense as the other ones, because I have 3 of them, and they're all started. So I think it was a Walk in the Park. I think that's what it's called. Walk in the Park. It's the ones that has the swans. That one is almost done, but because of the repetitive stitches that go around, I kind of put it aside for now. And then I have Roses of Paris, I think it's called. I'm so bad with names. I'm just so bad with names. So I have that one that I currently started, that I purchased recently, actually. And I put it aside to start this one. And we'll probably get back to it in a bit, because I really like that one. I really want to finish it and put it in my living room. I also want to finish the one, A Walk in the Park. I also have that butterfly lace mandala. I have quite a few. And then there's one that I saw, I think it was House of Stitch and Stash. It's one of those kaleidoscopes, I think it's called. And I have to have it. But the fact that it's about $300 to kit up, I can't really do that right now. So I say that I'm gonna save up, but then I end up spending whatever little bit that I get on other charts that are not that expensive. So when I'll get to that one, I will see. Maybe in the future, in the near future. Or maybe I win the lottery and I can buy all the charts that I want and storage, because I love storing stuff. But then again, in order for me to do that, I would have to buy a lottery ticket. So we shall see. All right, everybody. And that's it for today. And I will upload another video showing all my projects soon. Thank you for watching. Bye.